What's up, everyone? Welcome to the complete guide of Marvel Rivals. This is the series where we break down competitive Marvel Rivals one lesson at a time. Whether you're trying to escape gold or you're pushing for eternity, this is the new series for you. First and foremost, let me introduce myself real quick. So, my name is Cureless. I am an Eternity Marvel Rivals player. I have played in high school and in college. I am in college now. I play for UNC Charlotte. I have been playing hero shooters pretty much since Overwatch 1 came out, so I have a lot of time under my belt. I have over 1,500 hours in Marvel Rivals, which is more than I would like to admit, if I'm being honest. But I have participated in numerous amounts of Marvel Rivals tournaments and other esports tournaments in general. I have probably been to around 5 or 6 LAN tournaments, so like IRL tournaments that I've been to, and I've ended up winning 4 of them total so far in my career, and I'm hoping to achieve more. But anyways, enough about me. Let's get started with the first video. This video is going to be more of an introductory video. It's not going to be talking about total complete concepts right now. No high level knowledge gameplay is going to be really shown or going to be dove into. We're not going to be doing any VOD reviews or anything like that. We're just going to be talking about the series today. So since this is the first video, I'm going to be talking about what we're going to be doing for the entire series. I already pretty much have it all planned out. So we're going to have multiple different parts. We're actually going to have 5 different parts in total, and they're all going to be around 6 different lessons in each part. And I'm going to be going over each part right now just so you can get a basic understanding of maybe which part that you want to jump to or which part you want to focus on first. So part 1 today is going to be talking about just the foundations so that everyone is on the same page. After we get through all 6 lessons of part 1, we're going to get into part 2, which is going to be talking about team fighting. And then part 3 is going to be talking about macro play. And then part 4 is going to be talking about advanced decision making, and part 5 is going to be becoming an elite player. All right, so part 1, lesson 1 is going to be how to actually improve in Marvel Rivals, and we're going to be talking about 5 main bullet points today. The first one is going to be growth mindset. Second one is going to be deliberate practice. The third is going to be why most players actually plateau. The fourth is going to be myths. And to round out this first lesson, we're going to be talking about how to actually use this series, because I did put a lot of effort into this series. All right, so we're going to be talking about a growth mindset. So first of all, what is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is understanding that skills aren't fixed. It's understanding that every top player was once a beginner, and pretty much the idea that improvement is a process, not a talent. So understand that you're going to be going through the improvement process and that it's going to take time and that is okay. So there is a difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset, a couple examples could be, oh, my skills are fixed, like I'm never going to get better, or saying I don't have enough talent, or saying I'm hard stuck because of my teammates. That is a bad mindset that you should not have. A growth mindset, the opposite of a fixed mindset, is what could I have done differently? Or what skill am I missing? Or how can I improve on what I did today? You should be treating your mistakes as information. Every death tells you something, or every loss that you make in a ranked game will expose a weakness that you have. And the mistakes that you see are actually not just failures. You shouldn't be looking at them like that. You should be looking at them as a positive. You should be looking at them as, oh, I'm getting feedback right now. The game is telling me that I made a mistake in this instance and I should be improving on these things. And then there's the long-term thinking of a growth mindset, is focusing on where you're going to be in 6 months if you put all this together, and making sure that you're hitting your improvement compounds over time. And another part of a growth mindset is not beating yourself up. Just because you had one bad game, you shouldn't judge yourself. So now we're going to get into bullet point 2, which is talking about deliberate practice. I'm going to first off start by saying playing does not equal practicing. Playing ranked isn't automatically practice. Mindlessly grinding games creates habits, and not all of them are even good habits. Practice needs a specific goal that you're intentionally working towards. A couple of examples could be positioning, ultimate tracking, cover usage, cooldown awareness, and don't ignore everything. You shouldn't be playing with an empty mind. It's okay to make other mistakes. Just take it as one improvement at a time and build skills like building blocks, and that you can have a solid foundation on each of those building blocks. Once you start building these building blocks that I was just talking about, they're going to become habits, and this is built through repetition and will eventually become automatic decision making, just like the pros. Good habits free your brain from harder concepts or even mechanics, so you could focus more on mechanics and less on positioning. Okay, so now I'm going to get into bullet point 3, which is going to be talking about why most players actually plateau. So the first most common reason is that players choose to play on autopilot. So they're going to queue, play, lose, queue again, and never reflect on their gameplay, which is horrible for improvement. Another thing that is a reason why players plateau is they actually end up blaming their teammates. And you can't just blame your teammates. You can improve yourself every single game. There are mistakes that even the pro players make every single game. There are so many flaws in even pro gameplay that I've looked at and I genuinely laugh at. There are so many things that everybody can improve on. Just focus on what you can control. You are never ever going to play a perfect game in your life. I'm just going to put that out there right now. No one you know, no one that you're friends with, your mom, your brother, your sister, your dog, your fish, no one's ever going to play a perfect game. The third reason I have on why players plateau is caring only about your rank. Your rank doesn't actually depict who you are in this moment. Rank is just, don't even think about your rank. Rank is a random number. If it really matters to you and you really care about it, you can do what I do, which is create an alternate account that is the same rank as your main, and then once you level up your main, you play on the alt account until that level is at the same rank as your main. For example, if you are Celestial 2 and you rank up to Celestial 1 on your main, now you can get on your alt account and then you can grind your alt account until that alt account hits Celestial 1. So even if you go back on your main and you end up deranking on your main, so what? You're still Celestial 1. That's what I do. It works perfectly for me, and I don't even have to worry about my rank anymore. So there is never a point where I'm going to end up stop playing because of my rank. The final thing that I have on why players plateau is because they're trying to learn too many things at one time. Overloading your brain is not what you want to be doing while playing Rivals, because you're going to end up making way more mistakes. When I say you want to be making that firm foundation block, you really need to be making that firm foundation block. I don't know how many times I have to get this through to people, but if you're focusing on your aim, positioning, cooldowns, team comps, and communication all at the same time, you're going to be all over the place. Not one single human being can do all that. Okay, now we're going to get into some myths about improvement. The first myth is, oh, I just need better aim. In reality, the decision making wins far more games than mechanics alone. Especially in Rivals, which is a game that's not very mechanically dependent, you can make a bunch of smart plays and still end up winning the game when you have poor mechanics than the other person. Better positioning obviously is going to create easier shots than if you have harder positioning and you have better aim, so you're still going to end up hitting the same amount of shots, but you don't need to focus on mechanics, or you might even hit up more shots. Myth number 2 is, I just need more hours. In reality, hours without intention create bad habits. Those autopilot games that I was talking about create bad habits that you should not be focusing on. 100 focused games beats 1,000 games on autopilot. Myth 3 is, I need to one trick. So in games like Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, any hero-based shooter, you don't want to one trick because of things such as understanding like character matchups, because if you have a bunch of counters, it's going to be impossible for you to rank up. Plus, Marvel Rivals has a ban system, so if that character gets banned, then you're screwed. Myth number 4 are my teammates suck. In reality, some games are unwinnable. You can have bad teammates. This is a team-based game, but some games are also your fault as well. They could be majority of your teammates' fault, but you could have won if you played better. So you need to be looking at, oh, what can I do? Not, oh, my teammates should have done this. And the last myth I want to talk about is I'll improve naturally. Natural improvements are very, very slow instead of concentrated improvements. Intentional learning keeps improvement going forward. So the last thing I want to end off is how you actually should use this series. And please pay attention to this part because this is the most important. So firstly, you're going to watch the lesson, and then you're not going to jump right into the next lesson. No, you're going to play and focus on what you learned that lesson. You're going to practice. You're going to think intentionally about what you learned that lesson, and then you're going to come back, maybe even review out your notes, blah, 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 blah. You're going to do the homework that I tell you to do, whatever. And then you're going to go to the next lesson after you've completed all that. You're not going to watch 5 different lessons because I'm just giving a brief overview of all of these topics, but these are like super, super, super deep. When we talk about character matchups, we're only going to be talking very simple, but character matchups could be 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It can get super complex. So I've put this entire set of concept lists in order, and everything is going to build off each other. So if you don't completely understand the previous lesson and then you're going to jump into the next lesson, you're not going to be understanding what I'm talking about if you don't understand the previous lesson, because I'm going to be mentioning that. All right, so the goal of this series isn't to make you win just your next 10 games. It's to make you a better player over time, 6 months from now. If you commit to learning one concept at a time and applying it in your own games, you'll build a level of understanding that lasts far beyond the current meta or patch, and honestly will transfer over into many other games such as Deadlock or Valorant. I've noticed that a lot of these things that I'm going to be talking about can be transferred over into these games as well. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Careless. I'm going to be doing this entire series 1 episode a day, so please make sure to check in tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Peace.